Hello students, welcome back class 12. So today I am discussing how to access each and every value of our numpy, 1D and 2D array, and comparatively I want to teach, okay, and data frame series and data frame pandas. So one by one, with the help of for loop, okay, we can access each and every value. Directly we can display, but I want to touch each and every value. So it is very helpful to check each and every value. So you can see in this example, I want to zoom, okay. So this is our okay students. Now you can see 1D numpy 1D numpy array each element. So import numpy as np, we know very well. np.array is our method. Here I am using list concept. Here several values 10, 20 and 30, okay, and their data will store into n1 variable. But I want to display each and every. We know very well in 0 position 10, in 1 position 20 and 2 position 30. Okay, so first I want to capture index starting and ending index. So here I am using range function. Okay, range always start 0. Okay, because our starting index is 0, so we must use 0, comma, len. We know what is the purpose of len. It will count the total number of elements, but which variable? n1 variable. So in len it will give 3. Okay, but this is a range function. Start from 0 and stop to 3. 3 means 1 less. It means 0, 1, 2. Okay, now for I in range, so first index is our 0. Okay, so I have 0 and n of 1 0, you display 10. Now again loop will continue. The next index is 1. Okay, range will give 1. Okay, then n of 1 is 20, and again loop will continue and it will give 2. So I value is 2, n of 2 is 13. Okay, so with the help of loop we can access each and every value. So this is our standard formula, we can say. Now here I am using series, pandas series. So here one thing you can change. Here import numpy as np. Here I am using import pandas as pd. Here I am using np.array because array use one data type. Okay. Here we can use, so here I am only one changing pd.series. Okay, here s1, and same thing we can copy and paste. Okay, only because here is, we can say this is our panda series, we can say this is numpy array. Okay, difference is in pandas series and data frame we can mix different data type in one variable, but in numpy according to name, numpy means all value must be number. We cannot mix string data. Okay. Okay. So same thing, range L1. Okay, it will display all the values. Here I already mentioned the explanation. Okay. So len function is very useful, and range function. It will give static and ending stop, and then we can choose one by one with the help of for loop, and we will display. Now suppose we have more than one row. Okay, so we can say 2D numpy array. So here 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2. Okay, so this is our first row and first index. So 0, 0, 5, 0, 1, 3, 0, 2, 4, 1, 0, 7, 1, 1, 5, 1, 2, 8, 2, 0, 6, 2, 1, 8, 2, 2, 3, 3, 0, 9, 3, 1, 10 and 3, 2, 6. But first I want to store in numpy 2D array, so import numpy as np. Okay, but this is square bracket, another square bracket, because this is our more than one 1D array. This is first 1D array, this is second 1D array, this is third 1D array and fourth. So here we use inside more than one square bracket. Okay, directly we can use, but I want to display one by one. So here I am using loop inside loop. Okay, outer loop control total number of rows. So total number of rows is 4, or inside one row 3 columns. First, second, third. Inside second row 3 columns. Inside third row 3 columns. Inside fourth row 3 columns. Okay, so outer loop control the total number of row, and inner loop control for each row all the columns. Okay, so here I am using row in range. Okay, 0, len array, so it will count 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0 to 4. Okay, so row by row we can access, then inside each row we can access each column value. So here I am using print, because I want to display after completing one row we can display next line. So here print statement, and for each row we can display each column. So column in range 0, because suppose we are in first row, so the total number of element is, so we are using len arrow of 0. Arrow of 0 means first row, so total element is 3. So 0, 3. Then we can use square bracket, and first we use row index, then in row index we can use column index, and end means we can when completing this line it will add our next output in one line. Then when loop falls, then come back to the top, then again it will move the next row, and in next row all value will display using the inside loop. Okay, so we can also access each loop. But same thing we can use data frame. Here one thing, import numpy and np. Here I am using import pandas pd. Here np.array, here pd.dataframe. Okay, so we can also use. Okay, but here some new things. Okay, here we can use df.shape. We know what is the purpose of shape. It will give two things. 4 by 3. It will give 4 by 3. 4 means 4 rows and 3 columns. So df.shape will give 4, 3. Two things. So 4, 3. So what is the position of 4? 0th position. 3. What is the position of 3? 1 position. Okay. 4 means there is a 4 rows. 3 means there is a 3 columns. So it will give two things. So first thing, RC of 0. So RC of 0 means 4. Total row is 4. Here RC is 1 means 3. So total column is 3. So df.shape give two things. 4, 3. Okay. So 4 in our 0 position, 3 is our first position. So we can access this simple thing. Okay. Now same thing we can put total row here, and we can put total column here. And because this is our data frame and this is our numerical index inside, so we can use iloc and row, column. Okay, this is data frame, we must use iloc. So we can display each and every value. So you can see return the total number of row, and we can access this thing. Same program I want to copy and paste, but here I am taking a simple example, real life example. But accessing each value is same. Okay, month, this is our key value and all values. This is our second key value and all values. So here I am using dictionary concept, a dictionary of list concept. But here to display each and every value, the same code I want to copy and paste. Same code. There is nothing changed. Okay. But here data is different. So here you can see different look. But because there is a different kind of data string, and so we can use dictionary concept. But when you want to display each value, so same we can say this is standard formula. We can copy and paste. Okay, so it will give, there are 4 rows and 3 columns. So shape will give 4, 3. But 4 position is 0 and 3 position is 1. So we can access each value in total row variable and total column variable, and we can display. You can see iloc here we can use for this purpose, and we can say we can display each and every value. Okay, so you can see. So it is possible because this is my comparative. I want to show the example how to access. Okay, so it is very beneficial. We can approach each and every value and we can change or we can check also. But our famous example is loc and iloc comparison. We already discussed so much. Okay, but I want to revise this thing. So for the revision purpose, okay. Now Pandas data frame loc and iloc comparison. Loc for label index, it includes stop index, we know very well. Iloc, it is not include stop, always one less. For integer location, you can see 012, 012. Loc for label index, R0, R1, this is our label. Okay, this is our data. Okay, but this data I want to not completely display, I want to selectively display. Okay, so Pandas data frame, label index and label access, loc and default index 0123. Okay, we can use iloc, we already discussed. But this is our structure: loc, start, stop, step. Here comma, before comma always row size, after comma always column size, but column also start, stop and step. Same thing, copy and paste, but here iloc. Okay, so this is our structure formula. Okay, first I want to create this data frame. I want to store data in our data frame. So C0, all the values 3, 4, 5, 8. C1, all the values. C2, all the values. C3, all the values. Okay, there are several ways to store this data. Several ways. Here I am using 0, 1, 2, 3. You can see column by column I want to store in this style. Okay, so we can use this style. Okay, and we can also use this style. Okay, in this style we can also store our data. Okay, in a direct table style we can also store, and we can also use our dictionary concept. Okay, you can see this is our dictionary concept. So we can use both style according to our choice. Okay, but I want to, because this is our label index, so this is PD data frame, this is our data index is index. Here I am not mentioning here column name C1, C2, C3, but index is R0, R1, R2, R3. This is our label index and this is our label column names. Okay, and this is our numerical defaults row index and column. Okay, this thing we know very well, but I want to discuss selectively data. Suppose simple thing, df.log R0, so it will display only R0. df.log comma colon and here C0. Okay, C0 means first column including all rows. In our language we can say select first column, and here empty column means all rows of first column. Same thing, but this is our integer, so here I am using iloc 0, so it will display first row. iloc 0, it will display this thing. Okay, I want to display second row, so here I am using loc label R1 second column. Okay, here this thing is important, second column, but second column including all the rows of second row, so you can understand. And df.iloc, you can understand first iloc column, so column, so you can say comparatively you can remove your all confusion. Okay, so my effort will help to understand this thing. Now I want to display third row, so R2, C2, okay, you can see, and iloc 2 and iloc 2. Now I want to display last, so iloc R3, okay, iloc C3, you can understand, and iloc 3 integer for integer indexing and integer column index. Okay, so here I am comparatively use loc and iloc and access each column one by one. So you must keep in mind the structure. Okay, how to use. Now I want to calculate horizontally and vertical sum and arithmetic operation. So df dot loc r0, but here I am including one thing, dot sum. So it will horizontally sum. Okay. So our second row sum, our third row sum, our last row sum horizontally, but I want to perform vertically. So loc, okay, C0, but sum. So vertically it will perform, okay, vertically one by one. Individually we can perform sum, but in the loc case, in iloc, okay, same thing, 0 1, but here I, and here numerical index. So horizontally, line by line, we can display the total, and here column by column we can individually display the total. So we use colon comma 0. Okay, first we access particular column, and then we can use dot sum. Here dot sum is extra thing, so it will display the sum. So we can perform horizontally sum, line by line. We can perform column by column sum. You can see, you can understand, because I think this thing we already discussed in previous session. Okay students, thank you so much.